Hey guys, we're back talking more about the fourth industrial revolution. Hopefully you just watched the previous video, and we're going to dig a little deeper into what does the fourth industrial revolution means. So to get there, we're going to jump back to the third that I mentioned about computers. Now, if you remember, for those of you that are around in the 80s, there was this huge company called IBM. And IBM made their whole debut and once upon a time was a powerhouse of a business in our industry. Their key focus that they focused in on was the hardware. They built computers, microchips, the processors, the units, the housing units. They made supercomputers, the whole ball of wax. And in the late 80s, what happened is they connected with a company called Microsoft and licensed all the software rights to Microsoft, which essentially led to Windows and what we even use now to date. What it did is that set the stage for software companies, and if you think about it right now, which companies are more in control and do more business, make more money, have more revenue? The hardware companies or the software companies? Clearly the software companies. Then what happened in the 90s, and specifically early 2000s, was when everything moved to a cloud base. And the cloud base took everything from a software where everything was stored information-wise on a local device and took it and put it online somewhere, so that way, if your device ever crashed, and for those of you before in this phase, if your device crashed, something went out, that was it. You lost all your data, all your information, it was gone. The second the cloud came out and we could store information online, if our device failed, it didn't matter. We could go recover and retrieve all of our devices, much like how these little things work now. I can go get a new one of these every single year and all of my information stays intact on my device at all times. So this company called Apple came about in the late 90s and early 2000s, and what Apple did is unveiled this thing called iTunes. Now what iTunes did, iTunes completely shaped the entire way the music industry operated. You know, before the cloud and before iTunes, to get music, you had to purchase a CD. Spend $20, $25, cassette tape, 8-track, vinyl, 45, 33, whatever the case is. You had to purchase your music, and it was controlled and made by the record companies. When iTunes came out, yes, they made the iPod, but the iPod wasn't the amazing invention. The amazing invention was iTunes. It was the cloud that stored all of this music that you could go download and buy a song for $1. You know, and a lot of companies did not make the adaptation to that. A lot of music record labels did not make the adaptation to that. But there were 5 major ones that partnered with Apple. And by the way, those 5 are still the major 5. The ones that did not partner with Apple and iTunes are the ones that are no longer around. This is what happened from a cloud standpoint, and what's important about the cloud service is what allows people to access information real time via the internet on a consistent basis. The cloud is what's shaping our brokerage. It's what's shaping what the future holds for us, and we're going to talk more about that in the next video.